these yellow roses aren't cheap. You have any idea how much they cost?
What's he doing here?
He was waiting in the lobby.
Please excuse us. We just need to talk for just
Wait
a moment.
right here.
Honey, are you crazy?
Look.
Lee and Gil are going to be here any second.
I couldn't help it. The man is desperate.
So am I. I'm desperately entertaining quietly. And I want to get him out of here.
Not until we solve the problem.
We.
Don't worry. I wouldn't dare ask you to help.
Oh, goodness, they're here already. Now, just what am I going to do? It's ruined.
You could start by answering the door.
Thanks.
Right on time. Come in, Gail.
Oh, darling.
That's a lovely gown.
Oh, thank you. What a compliment coming from Mr. Mayor.
Claudia, your suite is just beautiful. It must be the finest in the hotel.
Oh, we are very happy with it.
Hi,
Thank you.
Brian.
How you doing,
Hi,
Lee?
Brian.
Lee, Gail, I'd like to introduce you to Thaddeus Fitzsimmons.
Mr. Timmons,
Pleasure, sir.
nice to meet you.
Mr. Fitzsimmons is a client of Brian. Mr. Fitzsimmons, I'm sorry. He was just leaving.
Actually, I don't think this particular problem can wait.
You said it was your Social Security check?
That's right. The darn thing was stolen right out of my box.
Oh.
It used to be a good neighborhood, but now you can't even go out at night.
Thaddeus lives on the waterfront.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Well, stealing mail is a federal offense.
Well, that's not my problem. My problem's the money. I needed something bad, right now.
Yes, and I guess, darling, that would be a matter for the police. Everyone, why don't we just skip our drinks and maybe just go down to the dining room?
Well, wait a minute. I'd like to hear Mr. Fitzsimmons' story.
Well, as I was saying, it seems like a theft and a matter for the police.
I called the police. They took the report over the phone. But it's a fat chance to do anything about it.
Well, you're probably right. They do get swamped, you know. In some cases, it takes them a long time to get to them.
Well, I know. How about the Social Security office?
They're closed.
Mr. Fitzsimmons, take off your coat now. First, tell us about your story, and then we'll figure out what to do about it.
Claudia, why don't you fix Mr. Fitzsimmons a drink?
Here, let me help you.
Thank you. Water'd be fine.
Honey,
Water, yes. Please.
let me take everybody's Coke.
Thanks, Brian.
I know, I should have called first. No, use the excuse I always use. You were in the neighborhood. I'm bored and I don't like it. So I came over here for a little excitement. Would you believe it? All the excitement I've been through in the last year, and the first slow day comes along, I'm ready to scream. Interesting coincidence. I'm having the same kind of day myself. We'll mourn together. Are things really that bad?
No, actually, they're not. Grant has just passed his first pre-med exam. He's got a date for his second. He has to take them one at a time. It doesn't seem to bother him at all.
But how about you?
Well, I'm preparing a folder to show Lorena Sharp of Avalon Spas. I'm shooting for a position as design consultant, but to tell you the truth, I'd take pool man.
Listen to you, as if they'd be dumb enough to pass you up.
You never know with designing. It's so completely arbitrary. One day you're somebody, and the next day you're sweeping floors.
Well, at least you have a career.
Yeah.
Don't you want one?
To tell you the truth, it is not the life I envision for myself. I like it. I do. I enjoy it. But when I think of what could have been,
A doctor's wife?
no, even before that, the adventure, the nightlife, jetting off to the Bahamas. You know, I think it's that time of year.
Yes. I certainly won't argue with you. That was a very nice way of living.
You sound like a spoiled brat.
Well, if it'll make you feel any better, I miss those things myself.
Don't get me wrong. I am not putting down Port Charles. I think it's a very sweet, charming place.
It's just not New York.
Not even close.
I know exactly how you feel. It's like going back to an amusement park over and over again. After a while, the thrill is gone, and you wonder what you're doing there.
You know, maybe I think that you should start thinking about getting a job, too.
Oh, I think about it all the time.
Well, so what's keeping you, then?
I don't know what I want to do.
Well, what about the spas?
What about it?
I'm sure there are going to be plenty of jobs available.
Well, I'll think about it. Meanwhile, we're stuck with another evening with nothing to do.
No, you're stuck. I've got to go back to Kelly's. Kelly's. And meet Grant.
Ooh, that reminds me. The other Grant was here today.
I know, I saw him at Kelly's.
Did he mention Dr. Campbell?
Briefly. He seems concerned along with everyone else.
I'm sure Robert will track him down.
Holly, tell me something. What do you think of Grant?
Grant Putnam?
Mm-hmm.
He was friendly, charming. He certainly wasn't what I expected. Why?
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
If you find yourself attracted to him, it's only natural.
No. Attracted to, no. Curious about, perhaps.
Be careful.
Oh, Holly, don't be ridiculous. Oh, I've got to go.
Celia,
What?
I meant what I said. Be careful.
You worry too much. I'll see you at the spa, huh?
She was getting better. Why, last week we even took a walk down to the park.
Thaddeus, you never told me your daughter was sick.
Well, I didn't feel that it mattered. I mean, I felt that she'd get better.
Is that why you didn't want me to come to the apartment?
Yes, sir. Well, I thought you or the county authorities would try to take her away. Since her mother passed on, we've done just fine. Without her, I don't know what I'd do.
Has she been seen by a doctor?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Down at the clinic at the hospital. They told her to just keep taking the medicine and she'd be all right.
Good Lord, man. Are you saying that the money from the Social Security check was to buy medicine?
Well, we've been waiting for that check all week.
You should have come to me earlier. I would have loaned you the money.
No, sir. Fitzsimmons don't borrow from nobody.
Where is your daughter now, Mr. Fitzsimmons?
Well, she's back at my place. She's not doing good either. Her breathing's all hoarse and she's wheezing something terrible.
Thaddeus, just let me put on my coat.
Honey, where are you going?
To his apartment after I make a stop at the drugstore.
No, hold on, Mr. Phillips.
I'll charge you interest if that'll make you feel better.
You can be sure the police are going to act on this one, Mr. Fitzsimmons.
But you all have plans.
Well, there's absolutely no problem. As a matter of fact, Brian, darling, you'll just go with Mr. Fitzsimmons, and Lee and Gail will just have dinner by ourselves.
Claudia, I think I'll be going along, too.
Well, why don't you, But you aren't dressed for it. I mean, you're going on the waterfront.
Well, it's all right with me if the people don't mind. If I don't.
Well, I'm going along, too.
Lee?
Now, I think it's time the mayor had a long, hard look at the conditions down there.
You're not going to like what you see.
Well, perhaps I can do something about it. Hmm? Shall we?
Standing here isn't going to get anything done. Let's go.
What about your wife?
Look, just call up room service. I won't be gone long.
We'll take a rain check, Claudia.
Sure, Gail.
Thanks, Brian.
Back soon.
Arlene,
I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh.
Hi, you want some coffee? No, thank you, not right now.
Rose told me that you were here and then you left. I was worried about you.
Well, let's sit down. I'll explain it all.
Okay. Rose also said that you were talking to Putnam.
Yes, just briefly. Mostly about Dr. Campbell and where he isn't and how people can't find him around. And then I got bored and went over to Holly's, where we were bored together. You know, I think that girl has got to find herself a job or else check into Happydale.
So there's no further word on Dr. Campbell, huh?
No, Robert's on the case now, but according to Holly, his tracks stopped in New York.
And Grant wasn't any help either?
No, I guess not.
Did he seem at all concerned?
No. You know, to tell you the truth, he seemed very confident that Dr. Campbell was going to show up any day. And he's very excited about the book he's doing.
Is he? Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Really?
Yes. Celia, I want the man to have a normal life again. Surely you understand that.
Yes, of course I do.
I just wonder if Putnam would believe it.
You know, I don't think any of this concerns him at all anymore.
And he's a better man than I.
What do you mean?
Simply that if I were in his position, I don't know that I'd be quite so willing to forgive and forget.
Until something like that happens, you really can't know.
I suppose not.
Grant, life is full of challenges. You, better than anyone else, should know that.
I just wonder
What?
if it's really over.
Hi.
Hi. You brought the song, I hope.
No, I've been kind of busy working at the gig. Listen, I've got some unfinished business to talk about.
Oh, really? And what kind of unfinished business is that?
Steffi, I'd like to see my contract.
Your contract.
Yeah, a white piece of paper with a black lettering. You remember that. And I'd like to see some royalties I haven't been seeing either. Steffi, I've been working my butt off for you. You know that? And I haven't seen 1 cent of profit. Explain it.
I get it. You mean you're out of money, right? Blackie, if you wanted some...
No, I don't want any
money.
money. I don't want you to go whip out a 50 from your magical wad there or something.
Okay. How about 500? You know, all I have to do is sign a receipt. You can have as much as you'd like.
Sign. That's all I've been doing is signing things lately. Half the time I don't even know what I'm signing. And I see no receipts. I see nothing. No copies, no nothing.
I don't believe this. You're panicking.
Damn right I'm panicking.
Well, I'm sorry. You can't do that because I'm not going to allow it.
Oh.
This is the big time,
Well,
Blackie.
the big time. Yeah, well, where's my little big-time contract? Let me tell you something, Steffi. Unless I see that big-time contract, you're getting nothing from me. No song, no Atlantic City gig, nothing.
I don't think I understand you.
Well, then let me put it in your terminology. No pay, no play. Do you understand that?
Great day in the morning, love in the afternoon.
On Loving.
Is she pregnant? Is my sister pregnant?
Yes, she's pregnant. Who's the father? As a matter of fact, it's your best friend, Tony Pirelli.
And on One Life to Live.
Let me tell you something, very sincerely, okay?
Okay.
I'm falling in love with you.
An admission of love leads to a night of passion. Loving One Life to Live. Weekdays.
Blackie. Blackie. First thing I want you to do is relax.
Well, what you trying to do here? You're trying to change the subject, aren't you?
What do you want me to do? You want me to call Pirelli?
Yeah. I should have a copy of the contract here.
Pirelli holds all the contracts. I thought you knew that.
No, I didn't know that. Yeah, there's the phone right there.
Sorry. Business hours are over.
Sorry. Call him at home.
All right.
It's hot in here. Dial.
I'm dialing.
Sneak attack. Won't you back?
Busy.
Well, we'll just have to try later then.
Okay.
Just sit here and wait.
You know, Pirelli can be an awfully big talker.
Like I said, I'll wait.
You know, it's funny. When you first came up here, I thought that maybe you were here for something else.
Give you that idea.
Oh, I don't know. There was a time when I thought that maybe you had a thing for me.
Yeah.
That all you could say is, yeah,
Well, it's better than saying something stupid and get stepped on again.
I guess I've really been a little too tough on you, huh?
No, it's fine. I'm a big boy. I can take care of myself.
So I've noticed.
What's that supposed to mean?
What would you like it to mean? You know, Blackie, you can let go with me. I've been afraid, too. And I'm sorry for it now. You do like me, don't you?
What difference does that make?
Oh, a whole lot of difference.
Tell the truth.
Blackie, what do I have to do to make you believe me?
am I doing? What about Pirelli?
Call him later.
Hello there. Hi. I suppose I'm safe this time. No doors to slam. Look, I suppose I should apologize for that. Please don't bother. If I were in your position, I imagine I would have done exactly the same thing. It was fear that prompted that, nothing else. You have no reason to fear me. I wish no harm to you or Celia or your marriage, for that matter. I do hope that you believe me. I'm working on it. Good. No reason why we can't be civil to one another. Though I suppose that friendship is a bit out of the question. Acquaintances, then. There's a nice ring to it. You here picking up research material? Yeah. What about you? The same. Well, I imagine that we're going to be running into each other now from time to time. Now that we're both at the starting point in our medical careers. That would seem to be inevitable. A nod. A smile. How shall we handle it when we pass each other in the halls? Why don't we just play it by ear? It's a good idea. You know, there's just one thing that I don't understand. Here you are, the one who was wronged, and you're so willing to forgive and forget. Why? Just the way I am, I guess. Thank you. I'll be seeing you around.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. You keep me posted? Good man. Yeah, we'll get together soon. Talk then. Bye-bye.
This is good. This is the closest I've come to winning this evening.
I may have commenced a winning streak myself.
You've got something?
That was my cop mate on the phone. They've just pulled in this vagrant pickpocket. Guess what he had on him? A little watch engraved on the inside to Dr. Hilary Campbell.
I'd call that a pretty substantial lead.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Well, what are you going to do?
Head off to the Big Apple Monday morning. I want to be there when they question this vagrant.
What about me?
Red 7 under the black.